Now, two persons among a group numbering about 15 have been picked up by the Accra Region Police Command following an attempt to take over the management of the passport office here in Accra. The two are suspected to be supporters of the governing New Patriotic Party. Joining us, Joseph Akable was at the passport office Monday afternoon and came through with this report.
Armed police officers were stationed at the passport office at about 2:30 on Monday. They had thronged the premises after being called by the director of passports to come and restore sanity following attempts by some persons believed to be supporters of the governing party to take over operations. They visited the premises in an NPP-branded vehicle, claiming they had directions to take over the management of the establishment. Director of Passport Alexander Grant in Thrakwa explains what he noticed once the unidentified persons arrived at the premises.
So I was standing by the window monitoring what was going on at the security and then at the entrance. And then I saw 3 vehicles enter. I realized they were having a confrontation with the security personnel at the gate. They did all come out of their vehicles and they were engaging them in a scuffle. And in the process, I saw one of them heckling the security officer and then pushed him out of the main entrance and pushed him out to the street. And then I overheard them saying that they've taken over.
Personnel of the police service left with 2 persons belonging to the group as they seek to engage them further. Despite work being affected on Monday, the director of passport assures work will continue on Tuesday until they receive official communication indicating a change in management of the facility.
For us, we are civil servants or public servants for that matter, and we are bound by the law of the country to be here working 24 hours, if anything, from morning till evening, 5 o'clock. So we will come and work and make sure we attend to the public as we've always been doing.
Now, the passport office incident here in Accra is just one of several incidents that were reported across the country. In Kumasi, we're learning that Rattray Park was also attacked by some supposed sympathizers of the New Patriotic Party. Erastus Asari-Donko has more on that story, and he joins us on the phone line now. Good evening to you, Erastus. Tell us more about this Rattray Park incident.
Well, Israel, you know, the Rattray Park is the brainchild of former mayor of Kumasi, Kojo Bonsu. It's a big recreational center with a dancing fountain. And it has now become one of the major revenue outlets for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. Now, this afternoon, the management tell me that 30 physically built men came in there and said they want them to vacate the premises because they are taking over management of the park and they are going to manage it from now on. And in fact, they were so surprised, they tell me, and so they had to inform the authority at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. You know that currently we do not have a mayor, and so they told the coordinating director, and he in turn directed that they should file a formal complaint with the police. And so that is what happened in the afternoon. And then I traced forward to meet these guys. And they were numbering about 30, well-built. They told me they are part of a security wing of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region. They have suffered similar feats previously under the Mills administration. And so this is a revenge takeover. They are also taking over the outlet. On Wednesday, they were going to notify them with a letter and take over management of the park. But then they have advised themselves because they've been spoken to, and so they are asking that they wait until further notice.
All right, Erastus, the issue you just raised, which had to do with what they told you, just paints a picture and brings a lot more insight to all of this. So they're doing this because they're saying that it happened previously. It once happened. And so they're essentially repeating what they think is a norm.
Yeah, that's what they said. And one thing, their leader, who is called Mustafa, also known as Staff General, he's a well-built gentleman. He told me that previously they held similar positions. Some of them were operating public toilets and other things. And they were hounded off these posts by the then NDC supporters. And so this time around, they've been on a position for 8 years. they are hungry, and in fact, very, very angry. Some of them have been chased out of their homes and all that. So this time around, they are also trying to make ends meet by doing the same thing that was done to them, to the people, taking over these facilities and run them.
Now, Erastus, how is the police handling all of this?
In fact, Israel has been, the police are trying to stay out of this. And that is the interesting bit of this whole
They're trying, Erastus, you're saying the police is trying to stay out of this?
I would say so because I have tried to speak to some police authorities, and each one will tell me, speak to the other one, speak to this one, speak to the other person. And so I get the inclination that they are trying to stay out of this. And I tried to speak with the management of the KMA, the coordinating director. I was told he's in a meeting. And so I spoke with the PRO, who is saying, just simply saying that the facility is an arm of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. They run it. All the staff there, some are staff of Comptroller and Accountant General's office. And so these are government civil workers who are there on their behalf. If anybody wants to take over the running of such a facility, it needs to go through the General Assembly for it to be approved. That is the explanation he gave me. Nothing more, nothing less. I tried to ask him whether they will beef up security at the place. He says he cannot speak to that. And so we are being sort of kept behind the curtains concerning what the security agencies will do to protect the facility.
All right, thank you very much, Erastus Asardonko, bringing us up to speed with this particular story that's in Kumasi. But elsewhere, some married youth in Tamale, believed to be also supporters of the New Patriotic Party, Monday morning locked up the offices of the Tamale Metropolitan Youth Employment Agency and the National Disaster Management Office in the Sanyirugu district, demanding that staff at the two institutions vacate their offices so members of their party will take over. The head of the Youth Employment Agency has been speaking to Joy News' Northern Regional correspondent.
This morning, when I wake up and then prepare to go to office, I went to my office and it was locked down. So, and prior to that, last night, I already picked an information that a youth that is preparing to go and lock down my office, and they are an MPP youth, which I know, went this morning and actually locked the office.
So have you reported the incident to the police?
I have done that.
What has been their response?
Yet, they have not given me any response. But I know I have done that officially. I've written to them and I've copied everybody which is supposed to be attached to this. All my staff have been chased away. And I believe, even if we were around at that time, something different could have happened. Because when you go there to see the six that they went with, my brother, is serious. And our institution now is a public institution governed by law, because it was passed in Parliament 2016, Act 887. And even before that, we belong to a public service union. And currently we have our regional representative in Tamale here. And I'm the regional treasurer for the group. So I'm surprised that any youth could have just got up and think that he deserves the right to go and lock down a public institution. So we are appealing to the, at least, people who belong to this matter to wake up and fight for this, because it's a public institution.
Well, in one other incident, tension is mounting in the slum community of Agbogboshi as violence between NPP and NDC forces scores of residents to desert the community. Violence broke out last Saturday, January 7, when President Nana Akufo-Addo was sworn in as NPP youth sought to avenge their loss when the NDC won the 2008 election. Joining us, Justice Beidou has been to the community and sent us this report.
Old Fadama, Ghana's largest slum, home to more than 80,000 people, but now a community on the brink. Political violence has been simmering here since President Nana Akufo-Addo was declared winner of last December's election. And on January 7, when Mr. Akufo-Addo was inaugurated, the clashes flared up. NPP youth demanding revenge for atrocities against them when the NDC won in 2008.
Since 2008, they have sacked us in this market to go north. So we are not here again. And now we come back, they collect our assets, toilet, shower, and then rooms, they collect all NDC people. So now we get power and we come back to go around and collect everything. We are just there here, MPP, NDC. So the time where they declare it and they're just cutting MPP people, but you have already know it. And they kill our brothers here. Belongs to the police station. Our brothers, they kill them there.
What this camera won't tell you is the sheer level of tension that is currently building up here. On the surface, this looks like just a fight between the NPP and then the NDC. But what I've also learned is that this is just a case of settling old scores based on long-standing tribal differences between the major ethnic groups that live here.
We know it's about the chieftaincy problems. We know. But, you know, when it goes to higher this thing, people want to do it like it's political this thing, and it's like that. And we know for a fact that underground is when you are Abudu, they set you as NPP. When you are Andani, they see you as NDC. So NDC coming to power, the Andani's youth, it's like that. This is what the grassroots is taking the whole thing, which is it's not good for the health of this country.
In 2009, the last time transition-related violence happened here, many fled, scores were killed, but none of the perpetrators were successfully prosecuted. But this time, how is this new tension affecting the lives of ordinary people? This 45-year-old man asked me to hide his identity before agreeing to speak to me. He's been living in Old Fadama for more than 10 years, but now fears for his life.
People are living in fear. And it's like they will want to fight back if they are attacked. And you never can tell how it will spill over to other people, innocent people. And that is why we think it's serious. For example, if any fight breaks up around where I am now, you never can tell where a stray bullet or whatever can go.
The party foot soldiers are storing up today's trouble for a possible explosion in the future. Old Fadama's woes is just an example of how the inability of Ghana's security to deal with political violence has spilled over. Justice Beidou, Joy News, Old Fadama.
All right, so we're going back to Old Fadama, where Latif Idris is standing by to bring us the very latest. Good evening to you, Latif. Now, tell us what exactly is happening in the community right now.
Yeah, Israel, I'm currently standing at a part of Sodom and Gomorrah, close to the police station here, part of Seconds, where I can tell you that we still have one of the two armored cars that was parked in this community earlier today. One has left. We still have one of them parked with police personnel also parading the place to ensure that the place remains calm as it is right now. We know exactly what started this whole clashes, and I have an opinion leader here. He's been in this community and he knows exactly the underlying cause of the challenges or the confusion that has rocked Old Fadama, also popularly known as Sodom and Gomorrah. He joins me here. His name is Yahya Olu, an opinion leader in this community, and he's going to tell us exactly why we're having these clashes, between who and who. You're welcome to Joy News.
Thank you.
So can you run us through exactly what is causing this whole clashes?
This crisis was started 2008. To me, 2008, when properties were seized, the police couldn't take any action. And then the rest were run, some were killed. No arrests have been made. When this change government came, they also tried to retreat their properties back. That caused everything. And I think the commander here is doing well because he called both sides by returning their properties for them. He sit them with them. I think they are solving the problem now. Nothing is happening again.
You mentioned that it started in 2008
yeah.
when late President Mills was sworn in as president.
Yes, yes.
I'm also hearing that this goes beyond politics. That is something which started up north and you've brought it down to Accra. Is that true?
It is true and it is not true. Because when you
Can
check,
look into camera for us.
oh yes, it is true and it is not, it wasn't true. Because this issue were deal with only Dagbon people. Only Dagbon. Only Dagbon. And when you check, there is MPP Konkombes, nothing happened to them. MPP Gonjes, nothing happened. NDC, only NDC Dagombes, and then MPP Dagombes. So I would say they are right. They are right. They are right.
Why did you bring something that has happened up north down south here?
Well, that's not that thing happened of. Those who did it in 2008 were criminals, and most of our leaders couldn't help us, especially the MPs. Instead of them to sit down, they understand our language and stop it. They rather be in one side, because when you check by that time, all the MPs are one side. So they supported one side by their political will. That is disturbing us today.
You think, I'm also gathering information that this evening we have a group that is planning to attack the other side.
No, but I don't think.
Can you paint a picture of the atmosphere within the community?
No, I don't think. By yourself, you can see everybody, everything is moving normally.
So why don't we have the police with the armored cars?
No, these people are just standing because just maybe they suspected they can be there. Up to date, since the declaration, I don't think any one assault case has been recorded. You can go to police and confirm. It's simple. You collected my thing, return it back for me. Which is the one which is difficult to us is that the one they have been sold to the other tribe is very difficult, but they set committee for that one. The commander, police commander, have set committee for that one.
How about those who have fled the community for fear? They fled the community for fear of being attacked by members from the other side.
When you do a bad thing, you will think that the bad thing will return. It will return to you. And they themselves know, those who did the bad thing, none of them is here. They ran away. So if you are going to do something, you will do innocent people. It's only police have to make sure those who caused the murder should be arrested. And I think police have assured them that they will do it. If you commit a crime and you run away and they arrest you, if another person is going to commit a crime, he will never, because he knows that even 8 years when changes come, you too, you will be in problem, the problem that your friend is running through. So I don't think there will be any harassment here.
As an opinion leader, can you tell us that we are not going to experience any clashes within this community?
Up to date, no any crashes, no single one who can confirm that they have wounded me. You will never see. I've never seen a single. It's only I've been hearing it in rumors. I've been hearing it in rumors.
Okay, thank you very much, Yahya. So Israel, that's Yahya, they are an opinion leader, and we have lots and lots of the young men here. You can see them around, and the situation, according to Yahya, is calm, and they don't expect anything wrong to happen in this community going forward. But still, we have the police station here. We had earlier 2 armored cars. Now we have 1 parked in front of Seconds. They are on standby. In case something goes wrong, then they will be in the position to bring about peace in Sodom and Gomorrah here in Accra, Israel.
All right, thank you very much, Latif Idris. And that was Latif Idris. He's standing by at Agboglushi, bringing us up to speed on what's the violence that we're hearing could erupt there. Still to come in the bulletin, government denies claim it has agreed to allow ex-President Mahama to retain his current residence as his retirement home. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit. Welcome back to Joy News Prime. The Akufo-Addo government has described as false claims that it has awarded former President Mahama his cantonment official residence as his retirement home, reacting to a letter making the rounds on social media requesting the allocation of the property to the former president. Former Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah said the request was approved. But the leader of the MPP's transition team, Yaosafo Mafo, told Joy News' Araba Kumsing Monday, though the request for the bungalow has been put in, the matter is yet to be addressed. He challenged the NDC to provide evidence the request has indeed been approved.
Indeed, the Chief of Staff of the outgone government discussed this with me and followed it up with a letter. It was a request that His Excellency the President would want to have where he lives now as his retiring benefit, as it were. In fact, his own committee he set up did not recommend that. So go back to that report. And therefore, I referred the whole matter to the legal unit within our transition team. And I've received the results of the legal comments. We have not, and I want to repeat, we have received a request. And the requests are two. One, for him to be given as his ex gratia the house where he lives. And two, to also be given another property as his office. We are yet to make a decision on the matter because we have to meet and discuss. We haven't discussed it as a team. But we are holding the request and it will be discussed, and His Excellency, the former president, will be notified accordingly.
What do you make of the outgone administration's posture that indeed an agreement has been reached and that you're trying to, if you like, put the ex-president in a bad light?
I'm so disappointed with this. Agreement was reached with whom? That's the question. Arrangement must be reached between two people. The question is, the arrangement was reached with whom? If arrangements were reached, why would I go and refer to the legal department for a legal opinion? And therefore, no arrangement has been reached. I can say that with full confidence. The request was made, it was confirmed in writing, and we are yet to react to the request. That doesn't constitute agreement.
President Akufo-Addo, meanwhile, on Monday, confirmed reports that MP Fuanya Soutum Shirley Ayoko Boche will be his foreign affairs minister. The president, who started his first full day in office at the Flagstaff House, made the announcement to a visiting delegation. He, however, indicated the appointee will have to be approved by Parliament as required by the Constitution. Joy News editor Araba Kumsing was there and has come through with this report.
46 years after his father became president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has ascended to the seat of government, following in his father's footsteps. As he began work at the Flagstaff House officially today, the president was taking through the rudiments of the job that would become a daily grind for the next 4 years. Dressed in a white smock, he began his day by inspecting the guard of honor at the forecourt of the Flagstaff House and proceeded to receive an interim report from the New Patriotic Party transition team. The report covers 24 sectors of the economy and includes recommendations for the new president to act on. Yaosafo Mafo is leader of the team.
The report is his report, and we wouldn't talk about the content until he authorizes us. So as soon as he authorizes us, we'll meet the media and give you a lot more details. We, in going through the handing over notes and visiting the various institutions, there are a few things we think can be done to help the economy pick up very quickly. And therefore, we have identified them and brought them up. But I don't think I will enumerate them here until after he had seen them. But the whole idea is to give him a quick start based on what is available on the ground.
Nana Akufo-Addo minced no words about his determination to get to work and ensure his government delivers on its promises to the citizenry. He commended the team for its initiative and speed of work.
But first of all, let me thank you for the work you're doing for our country. That I know that a great deal of energy and time has been spent, because there are several faces here who have been talking to me about the work that you have been doing. So even though this is an interim stage and an interim report, nevertheless, I think it's appropriate for me to thank you for the work that you have been doing. It is not work just for me, it is work for the people of Ghana.
Then it was a quick change of clothes, this time into a black smock, to meet a delegation from the Menchia Palace, which had come to formally inform the new president of the burial arrangements of the late Asante Hema, Nana Efia Kobi-Sewa Ampem. A delegation led by the special envoy of the Chinese president was next to call on him. Their leader described Nana Akufo-Addo as a blessing to Ghanaians and expressed the hope the cooperation between the countries will continue to deepen. It was at the meeting that President Akufo-Addo announced that Member of Parliament for Anya Soutum, Shirley Ayokoboche, would be his Foreign Affairs Minister.
Last year, even when we were in opposition, she managed to have the Vice President go and visit China, a very fruitful visit. He had never been there before, and he came back a convert to Chinese development. So, as I say, once again, thank you very much for coming. Let me just introduce to you briefly the people here. That's Alhaji Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, who is the Vice President, and the Chief of Staff, Fremal Say Opari, former Member of Parliament and a former Deputy Minister in President Kufuor's government. And the lady whom I'm going to nominate to Parliament for approval as our new Foreign Minister, she was my deputy when I was Foreign Minister, is Shirley Ayokoboche.
Ms. Ayokoboche was Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister under the Kufuor administration. She's been in Parliament since 2005, and her nomination is subject to parliamentary approval.
Join us, friend. We're taking a break, after which we'll bring you business news station. Now, the number of people killed when a vehicle ran into a crowd of jubilant children celebrating the inauguration of Nana Akufo-Addo as president now stands at 3. The vehicle ran into the crowd at Srewoso in the Ashanti region on Saturday, killing one child on the spot. 2 others died later at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. 38-year-old Efia Konedu's child is one of 11 on admission, but said to be in critical condition. All right, we have Kwesi Deborah. He's joining us now from Kumasi to bring us details about this very incident. Good evening to you, Kwesi. It appears we're just about hearing about this particular incident. How come we're now hearing about it?
Can you come again, Israel?
All right, so I'm saying that it appears we're just hearing about this tragedy in Kumasi. How come?
Yes, when the incident happened on Saturday, the victims' mothers, that's talking about the relatives, weren't able to report to us earlier on. That's why we got the information a bit late.
All right, so describe to us exactly how this happened.
Well, according to a woman that we spoke to, that's Efia Konedu, and she during the inauguration of the Nana Akufo-Addo, they were having a jamboree in the town, and all of them are gathered there to have some fun. And all of a sudden, a car just drove in, a car just ran over them. That's about over 20 people ran over them, injuring others and killing one on the spot. That's what really happened. And according to him, the owner of the car had come, and he had arrived home and given the key to the brother to put it out there. But unfortunately, he wasn't aware, and the brother had taken the car for a stroll, and that really happened.
Okay, so essentially the person who was driving the vehicle was not very qualified or didn't know how to handle the vehicle well.
Yes, absolutely. It was a brother of the driver, not the driver himself. And so and when it happened like that, what the town folks decided to burn the car. So as I'm talking to you right now, the car is completely burned, it's completely in ashes.
All right, so we're also hearing that it involved mostly children. How come?
It's two children. We went to the Kofanochi Teaching Hospital, and they had 11 cases where 2 were dead and also 2 were in critical condition. They were in B3. That's the awaiting surgery, and the others were responding to treatment. But according to the woman, it was about 19. There were about 19 people who were involved in the whole accident, and some also telling us about 25. So these are conflicting information that we're having here.
All right, Kwesi, just hold on. I'd like us to listen to a 38-year-old Ifya Konedu, whose child is one of 11 on admission, but said to be in critical condition.
That's Saturday. Anna, Nana, Diana Bayano. Tonight I say, Omo money, no more high fiddy. The man of Pano, me banner and piano, I saw me back at home and I made me drama. Tibo bear 18 and you may 18. Na Nimpab Watson and Pope bit a Tomano. Mitompa one man and say, Mommy Uncle Maria.
Last Saturday during the inauguration, they were having fun here with music. So my child was with me while I worked. I later told my child to join me watch TV, but he said no. I left them to watch TV not far from where they were. Suddenly, I heard the music stop.
Now, I feel almost say, Cabina, I bet you found Crasso. And I say, hey, see, I cry me by me tomb of one man, or me and Coretti was there be or call. And yet, Miss Manum dimly cut a coy. To me, quite a ban of car, no account, no, she can't say. Now, why you not to a horse? Now, me and say, and I'm going to flame more fire, and you be a dimly come quiet and so no more fatigue, the days I know so bad.
So I asked if the jubilation was over, but was told the car has run into the crowd. I rushed there and found my child under the car. We rushed here, and he is in critical condition. I need help.
And you dim the car by so you could form emergency, you dim the car. By bedroom and so and crano. Not a domaba is a crime and some free. Replan the empire is serious. Essential Midinahi, Minu will be a minimum back to a crash match. You will be asked for the new Rawakania Pam. Timino will be absolutely Yamwa.
All right, so Kwesi Debra is still on the line with me. Now, Kwesi, I also want to find out, what type of vehicle are we talking about here? Is it a saloon car? Is it a 4-wheel drive? Is it a truck?
It's a Benz bus. It's a bus that we're talking about here.
What has the police have to say about it?
Yeah, we talked to the police, and what they said is that because the exhibit now, which is the car is bent, they cannot really find anything about it. But we've arrested the man involved. Yes, they've arrested the driver. So what they're telling us, they are still investigating into the matter, and everything which comes up, they might report one. Israel.
All right, thank you very much, Kwesi Debra, bringing us those, well, very, very sad details about 3 children being killed after a vehicle running to them on Saturday. Elsewhere, 2 herdsmen have been killed at Donkokrom in Afram Plains following clashes with local farmers on Sunday. This follows previous clashes that left several people injured and many farmlands destroyed. Speaking to Joy News in an exclusive interview, the national president of Herdsmen Association of Ghana says despite signing an MOU and sensitization at the grassroots level, the killings still continue.
We are in 2017, and then the issue of these crop farmers and the herdsmen across the country, which has been one of the problems that we think must be solved. Recently, before elections, our organization went around to sensitize the members on the importance of peace during this election. But recently, just yesterday, at Mame Krobo in Afram Plains, the problem began there again, where we lost 2 lives, confirmed. 2 herdsmen were killed. And then it was an argument between the crop farmer and the herdsman. 2 of them were wounded, and then they rushed to the hospital. But I think within that, some of these crop farmers or the community trooped on some of the herdsmen and killed 2 young men. So I think the issue is still on, and then we, in collaboration with the peasant farmers, Association of Ghana since last year signed an MOU to come together and find ways and means to get the everlasting solution to this problem. I think we've met with the Ministry of Agric several times, and now that we are in new leadership of government, and then we're looking at how we could embark, or how we could enhance the relationship with the government and make sure that the killings and the problems within this sector, because the peasant farmers and the herdsmen, the cattle farmers are directly involved. We are the victims. So we find it necessary that we have to come together and collaborate and see ways and means of bringing this problem to stop.
Meanwhile, the president of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana says he will take the intervention of security agencies and local authorities for the clashes to cease. He is concerned that so far those involved in these killings have not been arrested or prosecuted.
The reality is that the farmers and then the cattle owners, they need to live peacefully, and the government has a role to play there. Assuming if there are places that is given for the Fulani herdsmen to take care of their cattle, and the farmers, they will not destroy the farmers' crops, I don't think we'll have a lot of problems. But now there is no law binding somebody from going anywhere.
So you think the problem is the law, the absence of a law?
Yeah, the absence, that one too is another factor. There is no law governing it. And even
at the district level, you don't have bylaws?
Oh, where? Even if it is there, it is not enforced. So if it is not enforced, it means that it is not there. Because something that is there must be forced, and everybody knows that this is why okay, what is happening? Who have ever been arrested and prosecuted on such an issue? You see, the arrest can be done, but at the end of the day, you see that such things are still repeating. So,
you're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break, after which we'll bring you international news. The news, a 20-year-old farmer has been sentenced to 15 years imprisonment with hard labor for the robbery of a 50-year-old woman. The convict is said to have inflicted multiple machete wounds on Tani Brahima and robbed her of 50 Ghana cedis. Waitakere Court Judge Justice Ba Forcing Ejapong handed down the sentence after he pleaded guilty to the charge of robbery. Rafiq Salam reports from her.
According to the Upper West Crimes Officer of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Hussein Musa Awenaba, the 50-year-old victim, Tene Brahima, who is a native of Nadojie, was returning from the jam market, which is located 6 kilometers away, when she was attacked midway through her journey by 20-year-old farmer Pierre Dana. Wielding a cutlass, he demanded that the victim to cede all personal effects to him, and she refused. He unleashed the cutlass on her, inflicting her with multiple wounds and robbed her of 50 Ghana cedis.
This Dana met the woman, asked her to bring all what was on her. The woman was resisting, so she inflicted severe cutlass wounds on the woman and took an amount of 50 Ghana cedis from her. Then went into hiding. The woman was able to make him up. On the 27th of December last year, the woman was discharged from hospital, and he led police to the arrest of the accused person.
He was, however, arraigned before the Wasekut Court today, presided over by his Honor, Justice Baforson Ajapong, charged with the offense of robbery. He pleaded guilty to the charge and was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment in hard labor. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam.
Also, the family of a 16-year-old girl who was shot and killed by a boy has expressed concern about how the case is being handled. The suspect is said to have shot the girl in the stomach with a pump-action gun. The uncle of the deceased says crucial evidence in the case could be tampered with. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba has been speaking to him about developments surrounding the store.
We were told that my sister Bibiane's daughter had been brought to the hospital in an ambulance and that she was in theater. I asked the nurse who was with the ambulance what had happened, and she said that some people had brought my niece to their clinic. I think it was Port Clinic. That they were sitting in a house as a group of people talking, chatting, and someone had thrown a firecracker and it hit my niece's chest, bent her, and there were lacerations to her chest and internal organs. I found the story quite difficult to believe, but that was what I was told. The doctor said that they had tried and tried and tried. They couldn't save her. They said her whole abdomen was full of blood. There has been so much internal damage. Her kidneys had, more than half of the kidneys were destroyed. The lungs are totally collapsed. There was some discussion between them, and the woman was resistant. She didn't want to come in. So anyway, to cut a long story short, he got their crime officer to speak to the crime officer in Tema. It was at that stage that the crime officer in Tema informed the airport police that actually there were some firearms involved. The parents had come with the boy, and they said their son was having a chat with our niece, and at some point he decided to go to his father's bedroom, and he picked up a pump-action gun. And the pump-action gun, and in an attempt to demonstrate or fire or something,
Also, Ho Central Market traders are threatening to boycott payment of market tolls should the Ho Municipal Assembly continue to allocate stores to persons who they describe as unqualified. According to the traders, government promised to first allocate the stores to persons whose structures were demolished to pave way for the project. However, the Ho Municipal Assembly is taking to allocating stores to persons who are not traders, neither were they, and were not also not affected by the demolitions. This phenomenon got the traders peeved.
Construction of the Ho Central Market project under Ghana Urban Management Pilot Project was started in 2014, costing at about 4,260,000 Ghana cedis. The project is designed to accommodate 231 stores, a clinic, police post, fire station, and a warehouse. Prior to commencement of construction works, structures belonging to some traders were demolished to pave way for the project, with government assurance that all traders affected by the demolition would first be given stores upon completion of the project. However, to the dismay of the traders, the Ho Municipal Assembly has commenced allocating stores to some individuals who were not affected by the demolition exercise, neither are there traders in the market. The traders are also unhappy about the exclusion of the market queen from the committee overseeing the allocation of stores. They are therefore calling on the Ho Municipal Assembly to stop allocating the stores until construction works are completed on the project. Speaking to Joy News, the market secretary Benjamin Ajino emphasized that traders in the market will stop paying market tolls should the assembly refuse to heed to their call. He also implored the assembly to involve the market queen in the store's allocation process to ensure the right thing is done.
In the assembly, making the allocation to stop allocating the stores because one, the project is not yet completed. Two, all those who are supposed to take the shade are not taking it. Three, we are getting new faces, which we, the market executives and the market association, we didn't recognize them at all because they are not part of it. Because a lot of people were affected, and we know the market stores, out of the 268 market stores, we know all of them can never get a store, but many are called, but few are choosing. The little ones can get it, so that we understand that these are the people, these are the beneficiaries. We are okay.
The whole Central Market reconstruction project forms part of 3 major projects being implemented under the Ghana Urban Management Pilot Project, which aims to transform the municipal capital whole. The other projects are an abattoir and biodigester in a landfill site. Fred Kwame Asari's report for Joy News.
All right, up next we bring you entertainment.